Hey there, thanks for joining me for the top 7 rock cuts of the week. If you haven't already, please give this a like and subscribe to the channel if you are subscribed, thank you and welcome back. So we've got a number of different rocks that I cut this week here to check out, so let's go ahead and get to it. This rock I was very excited to cut because I could see that there was what looked like some interesting greens or maybe blues that were peeking through, and where the rock was broken, it looked like it was a really high quality, almost a crystal quality. So let's take a look, and this is pretty spectacular on the inside. So I'm calling it a Nebula Rhyolite just because it reminded me of a nebula, but there's probably a lot of different things that you can see in it. Let's take a little bit closer look at each of the halves. But as you can see, there is some green and blue, but there's a lot of other colors going on too. There's a lot in the blue-green gradient, and then we have some brown and yellow mixed in with some whites. The transition between the colors is actually really nice. There's some more striking lines around some of them, and some of the others kind of blend into each other nicely, kind of like almost like an impressionist painting, but very pretty. I really like this part of the rock in particular, where there's the blues and the whites and the greens as well, and then of course it's bordered by the browns and the yellows. There's some almost what look like eyes present on this, but just a very striking rock. Very, very cool. Haven't seen one like this. Okay, let's check out this rock. So as you can see from the outside, there's some red desert patina as well as some red color and white and pink kind of peeking through. There's a little bit of white crust on it also, but let's go ahead and look at the inside of this one. And that is gorgeous. So we have really striking banding around the perimeter that's white and red and pink. And then the center part is just a really interesting pattern. So there's little red dots in there and some kind of swirls going on as well. It might just be very fine banding, but it's a very cool effect and it looks really nice. So let's take a closer look at the other side here as well. And yeah, this is just gorgeous. So this is probably a little bit bigger than a golf ball size piece, but I really like the banding, and I really like the colors. Just very pretty and very unique. Okay, let's check out this one. So this one looked like it was a crystal from that side to me, or an agate of some sort. This side had kind of some white material on it that I wasn't sure what it was, but let's check out what it looks like on the inside, and that is really cool. So it's got almost a purple, this looks almost, I called it a sunset crystal. It looks almost like a galaxy or a nebula too. I know I called that other one a nebula, but this is really pretty. So there's purples and yellows and oranges, as well as some whites in there, and some of it looks like it's crystal or agate. There's a little crystal cave there. Super pretty. Let's take a look at the other side. Oh, this is nice. So there's a little bit smaller cave on this side, but there's more of the purple material, and I really like the way that looks. Here's a little bit of a close-up there, and those caves might actually be inclusions, maybe crinoid stems. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So this one from the outside had a little bit of light green showing through and some white. So that's why I thought it might be interesting. You never know. So let's take a look at what it looks like on the inside. And that is really cool. Okay, so this has got all sorts of small little rocks and little crystals that are included in it. And the banding is kind of like the outside, kind of a very light white to palish green mixed in there, even a little bit of pink. And some of the small inclusions are black, and some of them as you can see, maybe are crystal. Let's take a look at the other side. Yeah, there's a couple bigger crystals on this side, and you can see a little bit of the color more. But this one's actually pretty interesting. Okay, so let's check out this one. So this is a big chunk, and it is from an even larger piece that I have broken into smaller chunks and have made a few cuts on. And I wanted to see what this one looked like. So let's take a look. And that is really nice on the inside. So this kind of split down that line in the center. One of the halves stayed intact and the other did not. But this is a nice Lahontan Jasper. I really like the patterns that we have going here, especially the red and gold veins on the white in the top corner here. That's just really pretty. And the banding that's going throughout the rock is actually really nice as well. Let's take a look at the other side here. So this side also has a nice white area that has the gold and red veins, which is just really pretty. And the rest of the rock is really nice too. There's some white and red and a lot of kind of different grain going on, and even some different pieces of stone there at the bottom. And here's the other half that broke apart from that one. Okay, let's check out this rock. So from the outside, this one looked like it was a bit lighter in color. It looked like it might be made up of some different stones there at the top, so I thought it might be interesting depending on how that carried through. So let's take a look here. And oh, that is really nice. So there is a little bit of breccia there at the bottom here, but most of the pattern is actually pretty solid there in the gold and tan area. The part I just tapped on is where we've got the different stones at the top, and some of those are pink and red and yellow, and that's a nice color there. But I actually like the pattern that's going on with the gold and the yellow and the tan on the rest of the rock. But this is a really cool one. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we've got this guy. So you can see there's some interesting banding and color that's showing through, and a couple yellow looking eyes there. So I was hopeful that there'd be a cool pattern that we could uncover on the inside. So let's take a look here, and it is pretty cool. So one of those yellow eyes kind of extends into the center there, and there's some smaller pockets kind of around, and gee, that red is really saturated. I really like that, and I really like the way that looks, and the little pockets with the white banding around it. Really, really pretty. And the red vein that kind of extends into the center is nice as well. So this is a really, really cool one. So thanks for checking this one out, and thanks for checking all these out. And please give this a like and a subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you next time.